you doing, YouTube? Glad to see you guys are back. Yeah, it's been a while since I put a video up. Let's see, today I'm showing right there. I'm using a Graph Gear 1000. It's made by Pentel. It's a 0.7 millimeter lead, and the lead in it is a blue, and it's made by Pentel as well. It's just a blue, like a grease pencil. I don't know what they really are called, but I like drawing with them. They're smooth and really kind of for layout stuff, but I'm enjoying it right now, so that's what I'm using. Yeah, we're doing this little building. It's in Albuquerque, and a lot of you will recognize the building in a little while, but it's at 325 Terrace Street in Albuquerque, and I believe it's on Cole, the corner of Terrace and Cole. And anyway, yeah, nice day. I'm out back. The sun is shining. It's a little warm, 93 degrees. Oh my gosh. And but I've got myself a nice shady spot, and oddly enough, just as I was about to mention it, the birds have quit chirping. I guess they finally got warm enough to give up on it, man. It's getting warm out here. Although I have a daughter that lives in Tucson, so I imagine she's really burning up, but it's hot. It still feels hot to me. I don't know where y'all live, but summertime I like, but it's hard to deal with the heat. So this little building, if you know the TV series Breaking Bad, do you know this building yet? Do you know where it's at? Or in what episodes it appears? So there's the birds chirping again. I hope you guys can hear it. I'm out in the backyard right now, and man, the backyard this summer has just come alive. So there's, in the tree right next to me, there's some blackbirds. If you know what a grackle is, these are about half the size of a grackle. I don't know what they are. My brother actually, he has a book. He showed me a book that birds, and we found what I think it was, and now, of course, I don't remember what it was. But yeah, I think you can hear the birds. But anyway, yeah, the backyard has come crazy alive, man. We watch movies out here in the evening, project movies, and there's mice out here. Now, you have to understand, we live very rurally. We live in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know I've been deciding what to do about mice. And in the meantime, while we have doves and these blackbirds and regular sparrows and robins and hummingbirds and all those things going on, we just discovered we have a squirrel living here, which I think is really cute. My wife, being from New York, thinks that they're a menace. She thinks of them more like mice or rats. She says she's from upstate New York, and apparently there they have problems with them chewing holes in the building and things like that, and getting into the attic. And here they're so rare. I've spent my life, I just appreciate it. I think they're cute. So I don't know what we're going to do about the squirrel, if anything. But for right now, I'm enjoying the squirrel being around. Don't see him very often. He takes off as soon as I come out in the backyard, but I've seen him a couple times. And hopefully he avoids her gaze. Although, apparently it's a squirrel that's done it. There's a big pile of dirt in our backyard. I believe the squirrel lives underground under a bush. But the funny part is that I didn't even know they lived out here. I mean, did I just say this? We live in the desert, man. We live a couple miles from the river, and we're up high on the high desert. So there's nothing here. If the houses weren't here, there would be nothing here but sand, lizards, sagebrush, things like that. So I never knew that squirrels lived out in that type of area. Anyway, for now, it's a joy to me to see them. So, man, you wouldn't believe how complicated it is. Sometimes to make a video, it's a little bit challenging. So I'm going to explain this process to you just for the fun of it. This is what just happened to me. Okay, I had a good recording of the birds, and they were chirping, and you could hear them very loudly. And I just got lucky. They were making a lot of noise. And where I recorded a good portion of what I just said. But while I was recording that, apparently it got too hot outside for the computer, and my Cintiq shut down in the middle of the video while I was recording. It just closed itself off, obviously too hot. So I had to stop everything, and I came in the house. While I moved everything into the house, the recording, I must have hit it twice, because that recording didn't stop, it just kept recording. So this will give you an idea what it takes to make videos. Anyway, so it had 22 minutes on it before I caught it. Now the problem with that is these sound recordings I have to email to my computer. Well, I'm using the computer in my office now because I had to move in because the sun shut down the computer. Only problem is our Wi-Fi is not strong enough to reach into my office, so I have to go out into a main room whenever I want to email myself these recordings. And I could not, it only emails up to about 6 or 7 minutes worth of recording. 22 minutes will never come through, so I couldn't even email it to myself to edit it. So I went out there and recorded that one again with the same verbiage, just with the phone, and it emailed great, but I don't know if you got too many of the birds. So anyway, now we're back. and I'm working on this video again. So here I think this is probably just ultramarine blue. If you look, the browns are, I just used the umber twins and the sienna, most of that looks to be just umber to me. There might be a little burnt sienna in it, or burnt umber. Most of the brown of the wall there. And I just put the yellow around the outside on the videos here. I'm kind of liking it. I've actually made some product for sale that we sold at an art fair that just has the yellow around, shows the building. It looks pretty cool. It works out pretty well on some things. I just think it gives it a little mood, and I think a lot of things, for me at least, get too busy when I paint in all the bushes in the street and everything in it. So yeah, I'm sure you know that this is Jesse's, where his apartment was. He rents an apartment from Jane here, and they live there happily ever after, at least for a little while. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but you guys, if you watch the series, you know what happens in this building. Well, anyhow, there it is. I'm mostly using Imperial Purple, I think, mixed with a little ultramarine for the shadows, and I'm enjoying that color a lot. Still haven't got my head fixed out of the shot. I don't know how. I used to have the camera adjusted. I've adjusted it 2 or 3 different ways now, so either I've changed my habits or I just haven't got the adjustments right yet. So hey, I'm using a travel brush right there. It's and they've worked out well for me, whatever brand that is. I don't know what it is, but I have to tell you, I really like the Escoda brushes best. Of all the, Castanet is a guy that you may watch on YouTube. He does these urban paintings. He typically does buildings, outside. And he has his own line of Escoda brushes, which I enjoy them, but they're much bigger. I think that these, Charles Reed, if you ever see him on YouTube, he also has DVDs and things like that. I believe I'm using the similar brushes to some of the travel brushes that he shows in some of his stuff. Anyway, it's not important that Charles Reed uses them, although I like his work. It's nothing bad about him. It's that particular brush, I would tell you what it is, but mine have been around a while, and all I know about them is that I got them from Escoda, that they're Escoda brushes. I don't, there's no, how can I say it? The words are gone. There's nothing on here to tell me what model brush it is. And that one there is, that little one is it's another Escoda, and it's called Barcelona, one of their Barcelona series. Whoa! So obviously it's time for me to let you go. I believe I have a video on the end of this that you may be able to watch, and I've got a little clip of video, and probably either you can stop that or I'm going to leave a photograph for you. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming by. Take care now. So yeah, there's a little footage of Jesse's the apartment where Jesse and I can't think of her name. And this is what it looks like in the area. So if you ever get there. Yeah, there it is, 325 Terrace Place, or Terrace Street.